I'm taking time to breathe, relax, explore, see, and experience life. Tune into my fantabulous voyage. Hello, welcome to my fantabulous voyage. And I'm going to be sharing with you all the things that I plan on doing while I am on my I don't know if I want to say journey, but it is a voyage, it's a journey. It's a new part of my life of where I'm going to. So I stayed in Texas and I've been there for about 10 years and I decided, hey, I want to do what I have been wanting to do since I was a kid. The opportunity presented itself and I'm like, hey, why not? I've been talking about this for like the past 5 or 6 years. Why not do it now? Like, I can definitely 100% do this now. I don't have like a whole bunch of responsibilities. Um, the things that I do have, I can, sell or I can get rid of or give away. Since, yeah, and I would be okay with those things. So let me tell you what actually happened first. Let me rewind a little bit. So what I did was maybe like sometime last year, I wrote down on a sheet of paper what I wanted my day to look like. And when I say my day to look like, I said I wanted to wake up at the time that I wanted to wake up. When my body said, hey, I've gotten enough sleep, now it's time to get up. So I wrote that down. I wanted to have time to exercise or to meditate, to be creative. If I want to draw, if I want to write, if I want to paint, whatever it is that I wanted to do, I wanted to make sure that it was built into my schedule. And so I wrote down all these things that I wanted to do, and no lie, less than 30 days later, I I was in a space where I was able to do all those things, and I wasn't stressed out. Like I wasn't like, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I wasn't like, I don't know how or what, but mentally, I was in a space where it's like, okay, this is where I'm at. So why not just travel? Why not do what you've been wanting to do? Like you can do it. Like there's nothing holding you back. So just go ahead and do it. So what I did was I decided where I wanted to go. I decided to before I talked to people who were the closest to me and were the most important to me. But I didn't talk to them until I had made some actual final decisions about it because I didn't want anyone talking me out of doing something that I feel like if I don't do it now, I don't know when I'm going to do it. And that type of regret I refuse to have in my life at this time. Now I'm in this time where it's like no hold bars, do what you want to because you may not get the chance to do it later. What, like, don't just be like, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it. No, that's not what I want for my life. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do on my terms. And so I found out what I wanted to do, and then I had a conversation with the people who were the closest to me, and I told them what my plans were. I will say I did talk to my daughter ahead of time to let her know, to see where she was at with it. And because she has her own thing going on, her own life, her own everything, she was fine with it and she supported me with it. And, I was grateful and thankful for that. Thank you, daughter. Basically, I started planning out what I needed to do, which was book hotels, book flights, book transportation, find out what city I was going to be going to and all of those type of things. And so for me, uh, because I still was leaving my daughter, I did go somewhere that was like only a few hours away from where we were going to be at in Texas if I needed to catch a plane to get back soon. So I ended up in Mexico. That's how I ended up here. And I actually bought my tickets before the plane tickets started to increase. So I'm so thankful about that. It did not cost that much. And I had a direct flight. And I'm so thankful for that as well. Direct flight and the ticket did not cost a lot of money. And the hotel, I found a great hotel. And so honestly, I feel like I've been guided and led the entire time for me. When I say I found a great hotel, that for me is because I feel like it didn't cost a lot of money. It had everything that would have spoken to me. I like cultural type of things, and so part of this trip is about, just looking at the culture of the people in this area and how do they fit in. Like, I don't plan on staying in fancy hotels and, doing all the luxury type of things. That's not what the intention is for me. Not saying I won't be doing any of that at all. If I do, maybe very limited, maybe like one night or 2 nights or something like that. But that's gonna be like a treat for something. Who knows what? So we'll see. But for the most part, it's gonna be, just staying and chilling with the locals. That's kind of what the plan is for me. So the hotel, when I say for me, it was made exactly for me. It reminded me of kind of like a log cabin out in, I don't want to say the country. If you were watching something on TV and they were like really truly in Mexico or a long time ago in the Western days, that's kind of what it reminded me of, with a theme from, with the Mexican theme is what it reminded me of. And I'll make sure I get some pictures up to show you what it looked like. It had a mosquito net. We use mosquito nets for like decoration in the US, like a little princess bed with the whole canopy and everything. But no, the mosquito net is for, you need to use this to keep the mosquitoes off you while you sleep. And I was cool with that. Have no problem with that. What else? Um, Yeah, I just have to show you the pictures. So one of the things I was looking for me, I plan on cooking. So I'm looking for something that was like you can cook either on a stove or something. So the hotel room had a hot plate, so I can cook. It had dishes, had pots, pans, had all of these things in the room. One thing I want to point out for me, I think I'm just pointing out some of the things that was just great for me for coming to Mexico, that made me like, oh yes, this is a great idea. Also, my phone plan worked in Mexico, like no difference, no anything. So as long as, I can get a signal, even I can do roaming, I'm still good. My phone bill is not gonna change. So that does not affect any of that. Thankfully. I was like, things are just lining up for me. Just lining up. Thank you. Um And just to keep going with the same theme of how things are lining up for me, let me first say that when I got ready to leave out, I called an Uber and to come and pick me up to take me to the airport. And my daughter was there, and we're leaving, and so it's very emotional, and sad and crying. So I get in the Uber, and the guy started talking to me. And long story short, um, to me, we started talking about things of how like the world works or how life works, and he talked about his relationship with God. And what I took from that conversation is that everything is going to be okay, and you are being, divinely guided or led, and don't, the universe has your back. That's what I took from the conversation. The universe has your back. I got you, sis. That's what it told me. That's what I took from it. So next, get to the airport, check in, get on the airplane, and the person that comes and sit next to me, why did we start talking? We built a bond, like a friendship. Um, she was on a solo trip as well, and but mine is more like an extended. I don't want to use the word trip, an extended path. Mine's, hers was had, she was going to be coming back within like a week or so. And anyway, point of the story is we ended up hanging out, going to what is it, Tulum, going to see some ruins. We ended up going to like Fifth Ave, which is like the tourist part of the city where you can go and look at all the shops if you want to buy stuff. They have a lot of restaurants and things like that. We went to Cozumel. We took a ferry from Playa del Carmen to Cozumel. Like we hung out like we were friends while she was here with me. And so I'm like, this is sign number two that the universe has my back. Like we're guiding you. Thank you. And then for me, sign number three was the hotel. Like I said, it was everything that I would have connected with. And not only that, while I was at the hotel, there were people that I was talking to that were easily relatable and made me feel comfortable in the area that I was in. I feel like the neighborhood was safe. You know, there was one guy I talked to, he was from Canada. He said that he had been coming to the hotel for like the past 5 or 6 years. And he would just come and stay for a little while and then go back to Canada. But he said it was just very safe, very walkable. He was even giving me tips on where to go to look for things. And so I'm like, thank you. Like everything is just telling me that it's going to be okay, and I appreciate it because I know I was nervous and I was scared. Uh, but yeah, I just know that everything was fine. Like, what are the chances of all those things happening? Um, I mean, of course it could happen, but I was just I looked at it as though it was just confirmation, knowing that everything was going to be okay. And yes, that's how I chose to look at it. Okay, so that is just a brief introduction of who I am and more to come. So thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for the next video.